So on the table here are some of my favorite designs by Benchmade, and they're all the Warren Osborne designed knives. Two 940s, the 950 Rift, and what is the model number on this? This, I believe, is the Barrage. Another Warren Osborne design. 585 Barrage, a mini Barrage. There it is. So those are all Warren Osborne design knives by Benchmade. And Warren Osborne actually passed away at the beginning of this year. And he designed many knives for Benchmade. He was also a custom knife maker. And yeah, definitely the 940 was one of those really famous ones for him that a lot of people have. And the 950 Riff as well is a very popular one. And Barrage is a little bit different. Style sisset opener. But the subject of this review is not going to be one of those Warren Osborne knives. It will be the 928 Proxy. And this is the last design by Warren Osborne with Benchmade. I believe it was designed actually before he passed away. But he was not around when it went into production and was ultimately for sale. And let's take a look. Of course, you have the Warren Osborne design. So you have his little mark there. This is within the first 1,000. A lot of Benchmades, if you do pre-orders and whatnot, you'll get it with that first 1,000 first production mark. I'm not sure if it really makes it any more special or valuable or whatnot, but I could take it or leave it, to be honest. So the 928 Proxy is actually, I would say, two things that Benchmade has gotten right that they've been criticized in recent years for not getting right. And that is a titanium frame lock, so no access lock here, and it is also a flipper. And it flips well. It's not the best flipper in the world or anything, but it does flip relatively well. Contrary to that would be the Benchmade 300. Is this the 300? I believe it's a 300. Let me check. Yeah, it's a 300. Benchmade 300. Access flipper. Sometimes that time it worked. Sometimes it didn't work so well. And then some of their recent titanium frame locks have had some criticism. But this one, from what I've determined and some other reviews I've seen, a lot of people have said this gets it right. And that's just, it's a nice thing for Warren Osborne's last design to be just something that, gets things right. And first off, this is a very big knife. For, I guess you would say, for most EDC knives or whatnot, this comes in with a 3.8 inch blade, so it is close to a 4-inch blade, which of course for some places will not make it legal. You have a weight of 4.86 ounces, and you have a steel, let's get it there, of CPM 20 CV. Ooh, there's a little bit of a lint from carrying it. So CPM 20 CV. Let's see, other side, get on there. 928 Proxy. And you can take a look there. This is they look like thumb studs, but Benchmade was clear to say that these are not thumb studs. These are stop lugs. And when you close a knife, if you look there, they do engage the surface there. So they do end up making contact with that to help when you deploy the knife. Let's get a picture of the lock up there. if you look inside there, you actually have a stainless steel insert in the titanium frame lock, and it's actually hexagonal shape because it is adjustable if you want to adjust the timing on your lock, which for me right now seems to be good. Not complaining. So yeah, this is all Benchmades are now USA production, so USA produced knife. The pocket clip that is on this is not the one that came with it. It comes with a split arrow pocket clip similar to on the 950 Rift here, except the one that comes on the Proxy is satin finished. But this is a titanium deep carry clip that did not come with the knife. Bought it afterwards. I think it's titanium. I think it goes a lot better with the knife, in my opinion. Handle construction. You have titanium on one side, and you have G10 on the opposite side. Tip up carry, right or left. And if you notice here, one thing that happened was when I tried to remove the screws to switch over to pocket clip. Well, remove it and then put on this pocket clip. There was so much Loctite in those screws that it stripped one of the screws, and I had to wiggle around the clip and eventually take out pliers to remove that screw. I'm not sure why those were Loctited down, but they were. And so now I have those, and the pocket clip I bought came with screws, luckily, because the other screws were no longer usable. So it did leave a little bit of scratched up part on the surface there. The handle is a nice kind of stone washed titanium. Looks very similar to a finish on a Chris Reeve Sebenza, I would say. Very nice finishing. And if you look over here, it's only a scale, and so the majority of the handle is actually G10. This kind of tan, desert tan G10, I'd say. It's kind of like a strider in construction, I guess you'd say, because with the striders you have the G10 that goes over and meets with a smaller titanium scale on the other side, and also has the stop lugs like a strider. So it's kind of similar to a strider in construction, but I like it a lot better than a strider. I've never been really a big fan of striders, but I really like this knife. You also have here, you have a forward finger choil, so you can choke up on the knife, or you can hold it down closer here, normal grip, but you have that option so you can choke up. So it's nice. It's actually very ergonomic, and with the size of the handle, I think that it will suit most people. You also have a nice sharpening choil there. So look at that. You have a forward finger choil and a sharpening choil. As far as a pivot, so there is pivot on the G10 side, and it is only adjustable on the G10 side. So this side is not adjustable, which is good, because if you have it on both sides, sometimes it will actually get loose. Not sure if you can actually remove the stop lug. Looks like you could, because it looks like there's a spot there, so you can remove it with a Torx wrench. It rides on ball bearings, so it makes it very smooth for deployment. It's actually pretty easy to close one-handed as well. The flipper tab is there. It's I would say it's not very much of a push button, more of a light switch, because push button might not come out, but if you light switch it, works well. And really the only I don't have a lot of titanium frame locks in my collection to begin with, but the one I've been able to kind of compare it to the most would be a Zero Tolerance 0561, another aftermarket clip on there, and that one has also brown G10, about the same size, weight. This one the ZT comes in at 5.98 ounces, so it is significantly heavier. Well, not significantly, but it is heavier because the Proxy comes in at 4.86, so it's almost an ounce difference, I guess you'd say. But the Proxy and price, Proxy comes in at $250. The 0561 comes in at $260 if it was still available, which it is now off the market. But I think it's a great blade. Take a look at the blade again here. So you have kind of a drop point, almost spear point like blade, and feels like it's flat ground. I could be wrong. If someone else has this blade and it is not flat ground, correct me in the comments, but that feels like a flat grind to me. Not full flat ground, but it feels like a flat grind. Overall, I think this is a great last design for Warren Osborne, because you're getting a titanium frame lock and a flipper. I think it looks great, and it's not for everyone, I know, but I think you're getting a great looking titanium frame lock that's also a flipper with good super steel CPM 20 CV. You're getting that nice forward finger choil and a nice sharpening choil, so you can retouch that knife. And like all of Warren Osborne's designs in Benchmade, I think this will be popular for a lot of Benchmade collectors. It might not be as popular as a 940 because 940 is smaller. It's more of an EDC. This could definitely flex in EDC or tactical role or self-defense, whatever you want to use it for, because it is a bigger knife, and that frame lock looks very strong. Overall, I think this is a great buy, and if you're a Warren Osborne fan, a Benchmade fan, even if you're not, I think it's a great knife, and it just aesthetically, with that finishing on that titanium, which will show wear. You can already see a little bit, but with that finishing on that titanium, I think the brown G10 is just nice and subtle. I'm glad I got a different pocket clip. I'm not a huge fan of the split arrow pocket clip, and I like that this is deep carry, especially for a knife this large. And of course you can tell with that sculpting on that G10, and the titanium there, Warren Osborne design, kind of reminds you of the 940 sculpting. This is I believe it's Knife Center exclusive 940, also very nice. So yeah, that is the review of the Benchmade 928 Proxy, and I think that this is just the best way to celebrate Warren Osborne's work with Benchmade. Is just a great knife as his last design with the company. So that's my review. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. Thanks for watching.